You know, all parents want their kids to do well, and there are very few times when you have the opportunity for your child to come in and work alongside. As a matter of fact, in the same department that you're working, it really feels good. I think he's doing an excellent job. I'm really proud that he's working with me. We work quite a bit together. Not only do we work here in the city of College Park, but we also do one of the biggest volunteer agencies in the United States. That's Amateur Athletic Union, and which is AAU, and we do the youth basketball. We've been blessed to do youth basketball in the state of Georgia for boys basketball. So I think it's really a shot in the arm for Bryant to work with me on a daily basis. We work hand in hand. We have a small staff, and it includes Bryant and I. He's my social media person. He sets up the schedules. We sit down and talk about the scheduling, and he sets the scheduling up. So we work hand in hand together in the youth basketball program.
Okay, well, the first part of the question is, like, it's a pleasure to work with Dad on a daily basis. We pretty much all day, I'm up at Conley, he's over here at Brady. We're pretty much talking back and forth about work-related stuff, about maybe park reservations or either the different day-to-day operations. And it's very good to work with him in the capacity here. And pretty much what got me started with recreation, when I grew up, I really wasn't a sports person. To be honest, I hated sports. I hated basketball, baseball, football, up until I was probably about the 8th and 9th grade. So pretty much then I pretty much kind of didn't have a choice, because he liked to watch baseball, basketball, football. So I kind of got in it with that vein in terms of, I like to come from a admin point of view rather than kind of a actual coaching point of view, because I don't really have a desire to coach. I have a desire to make sure everything like is running well. So that's pretty much how I got involved in recreation, and I actually like it. Well, I have to say like he's my hero, because pretty much I try to model myself to be like him. I know I'll never be like him, but I try to model myself to kind of be a jovial person, to be able to, even though you might be disciplining somebody, you still kind of have a smile on their face and do it in a respectful way rather than a demanding way. And he's just pretty much, he's born and raised College Park, grew up on Harvard Avenue, pretty much prior to the airport, buying all that property. So he's born and raised here. He went to 7th grade, like in this building here, like over at Brady. And he taught at the Beaver School, which used to be Shelter and Arms. He taught at College Park Elementary School. So pretty much College Park has been his life, and he's been dedicated to the kids of College Park pretty much for the past 30 or 40 years. So.
Well, we started Bryant, I think he started baseball, and he played when he was 6 and 7. We tried basketball, but we didn't push him, even though our older son participated in sports. Both our sons were good academic students. Bryant was an excellent student, elementary school in College Park, high school at Tri-Cities High School. He graduated Super Honor Roll Tri-Cities, went to Georgia State, art degree, graduated with honors from Georgia State. And while working here in College Park, he's helped me. He's 29 now, but he's helped me for about 16 to 17 years, doing scorebooks, whatever we needed to do. So he kind of had a background in working. I coached youth football in College Park for about 8 years, coached the Browns. And he's had a background, even though he wasn't a sports person. The admin part is what he does so well. He does the social media. I'm not a social media person, so I have to lean on the younger folk to do it. But it means so much for him to be able to work in conjunction with me in College Park, and I'm grateful for them giving him the opportunity to work here.
Well, it's pretty much a shot in our. It's a good opportunity. He was able to get that award, being Volunteer of the Year, and so many teams that he sent to the national. But without the people that support us, he wouldn't be able to do it. But I know he's done a great job. He's able to talk with those coaches to get them to participate and making sure we have our participation on the state level, so that way when they go to the nationals, Georgia is represented well, rather than having teams that may play in a small tournament and they're not really getting that. Opportunity to play against good competition. Volunteer of the Year award, as well as he got how many teams he sent to the nationals, like the All-American and the Growth Awards. Pretty much he got 3 different awards.
Well, we've been an athletic family. One of my brothers was in LaGrange. He was Jeffrey. He was in the Hall of Fame at LaGrange College. James went to Lincoln, where I graduated from, for 1 year. Then he transferred to North Carolina A&T, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame at North Carolina A&T. And right now James has a son that's going into his 9th year in the NFL, James Anderson. He's currently just signed, and we are elated for him with the New England Patriots last week. Jeff, my brother Jeff, also has a son-in-law that graduated from Auburn and played at Auburn, Ronnie Brown. And this is Ronnie's 13th year, and I'm not sure if he's signed yet, but he's had a great career in the NFL also. Well, when I came to College Park and I got interviewed, they asked me that I think I could do this job, and I said, well, I'm sure I can do it because I've always worked with kids. I taught in Fulton County for 7 years, and I actually coached. We had a basketball team at College Park Elementary, when we played at the YMCA, the Butler Street YMCA, which is the original YMCA. We would take the kids down on Fridays and we would play at the Butler Street YMCA. And that was real gratifying. Working with the youth is really gratifying. I really like it. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing this. But looking at kids that participate in the program when I coach now, Jonas Jennings coaches at Tri-Cities, and Jonas is doing a football camp this Saturday, June 14th, and he's a product of College Park, and he's very visible. And I can remember when Jonas played basketball here at Brady and played football right on the football field. This is my 16th year working with the rec department, but I started volunteering in football and basketball back in probably 1978, when my older son, which is 43, started playing. Well, my parents are my biggest heroes, because when I was in high school, every game I played at home and a lot of them away, they were there. And that's really different today. You don't have parents that follow their kids everywhere that they go. My parents would go to, if we were in Noonan or in LaGrange or in Savannah, they would load up the car and they would be at the games. They did that with my brothers. They were at College Park High. We'd play tournaments in Macon, and my parents would load up the car again. I taught elementary school when my younger brothers were playing at College Park, so I would kind of sneak off sometimes to the tournaments in Macon also.
Makes me feel proud to be like Anderson. So it's so much history in terms of athletics and academics. I know like all three, like my father was an educator, my mother was an educator for 30 years, and my brother is an educator. So pretty much, I come from a background like of education. So I'm glad to see that education and athletics can have a good mix.
Well, nothing but big things. The recreation department at College Park is probably one of the biggest and best recreation departments, bar none. We have a great gymnastics program. We have a great basketball program. We have a very good football program, and we have baseball. We also have an excellent track program that Rex and Sabrina Willis runs. So it's very diverse, and it's been a big impact further. We cater to College Park residents, but we also have people outside the city that want to be involved in our programs.
Well, I think we're going to expand by leaps and bounds. I know like with the staff that we have, we do a great job with what we're doing. So I'm thinking that if we keep progressing, just bring in like a new blood of coaches, and pretty much we'll be able to go to the next level. So I think we have a better thing that we're going to do down the road. Well, I mean, we both have a mutual respect for one another. Pretty much we know like what our job duties are, and we don't try to bring personal stuff from home into the office. But we pretty much we get along all the time. We pretty much see eye to eye most of the time. So pretty much just making sure we keep it professional, like at work, and that's just the best way to do it.
I agree wholeheartedly. We know we have a job to do here. We do it with gratitude and humility. We enjoy what we do, and if you don't enjoy what you do, then it's not fun. So this is fun for me, and at 64, I'm just having a ball.